I was watching romantic movies like all the time, and I thought, like, you know, there are the moments where you come through the door and your partner just, like, you know, just embraces you and they just like slob you down and just like, you know, it's just
all that.
Because the movies will set you up to fail. They will set you up, y'all. Don't believe the hype. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I am Mary, for those who are new, and this is hubby, Gerard, and y'all are probably going to hear him call me Bubba a lot. Like, it's fixed in his mind to say Bubba, but that's just like a little nickname we have for each other. But we're going to be doing a Q&A today, and you guys have submitted your questions via Instagram and also my YouTube community board. So we're going to be answering some of those, and we're also going to be answering questions that are going to be coming in on the Her Getting Hair page. So if you all see us looking down, it's because we're doing a live on the Her Getting Hair channel, and we decided to record so that you guys could also see the video. So we brought you all alongside. You all have been asking for Q&A videos and more videos with the two of us. So we decided to do it for Valentine's Day because we felt like it would be
perfect.
Fitting.
It's perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Someone could use it as encouragement. So
yeah, and you all can learn and get more insight on what this whole married life is about, for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. We got to get to the questions. So
let's go.
Yeah, we're going to start the live now. We just got married last year. Yeah, we just got married last year.
Stop it, Bubba.
In June. Well, we got married in May, but our wedding was in June. So we're going to be talking about our marriage and answering some of your questions, as well as some questions from my YouTube family and also my Instagram family. So before we start, I do want to put my discount code for Her Getting Hair because they are currently having a sale, and the discount code is MaryLove. And for those who may be wondering, I'm currently wearing clip-ins. Oh, you thought it was my natural hair? Yeah, it blends really nicely with my hair.
It does look real.
I worked on installing these I installed them maybe about an hour or so ago, but I prepped my leave out last night. And I do have a video on my channel, but I feel like I need to do an updated video. Do you have clip-ins? Yes, I do have clip-ins, and these are the coily texture, and these are actually in length 16, and I usually install them. This is not about my hair, but I usually install them from the top and then go down to the bottom just to make sure that they're filled in the way that I want. And if I don't have much at the bottom, nobody's even gonna know. I want to make sure it's really full at the top, so I'll start at the top and then work my way down. All right, so
how do you know?
Let's see.
Went pretty quick.
Husband, do you have space in the bathroom?
Not at all. No space in the bathroom, no space on the counter, no space in the closet.
Baby, you do have space. Stop it. I cleaned out a little drawer for him in the bathroom. A drawer?
You said, yeah, she's right. She's right. A little drawer. So, I mean, if that's space, yeah, I have a little drawer, as she stated. So.
He's always in the bathroom too, but we'll get on that later. He's hiding behind the hair.
The hair is so big, you know.
Somebody just asked.
Dominating.
It is. Somebody asked, "Do I wear wigs?" Yes, I wear wigs a lot. And our first question, actually, I had compiled all the questions that we got. One of the questions was, "How does my husband feel about my wigs? Does he like them?"
No, I have no problem at all with her wig game. Mary actually has, as she stated, several different wigs. So
I have some over here. They all just...
It doesn't bother me at all. I think they're more common now to see women wear it, especially if they're looking to switch up their look continuously, as she does.
Yeah.
A wig is more convenient than constantly, you know, going to a salon or something to get her hair done. So I have no issue with it at all. Mary's natural hair is actually a good length as well. So, I mean, it is what it is. I have no issue with it.
It's growing. But we actually have some videos on my channel where I
rated the wigs.
He rated my Her Getting Hair
Every
wigs.
one of them.
He also did a install. And he thought he was Anthony Cuts or somebody.
No.
That's
Naturally
what he
Gerard.
Okay, so that's what he calls himself. Gerard. But he thought he was Anthony Cuts because he's killer. But
Killer.
Okay, I saw another question. Are y'all planning to buy a house soon? So we're hoping.
In Jesus' name.
Yeah, in Jesus' name. We would love to buy a home very soon.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're hoping we would love to next year. maybe the year after that. But very soon, we are prayerful that that will happen. Do you guys check each other's phone? I don't think
I don't even think it's necessary. She has my password.
Yeah.
I have hers. I often don't remember it, but
yeah, he doesn't.
She gives it to me all the time. So
yeah.
I mean, there's no issues. I don't think that's about trust, and I think that's the foundation of a relationship or a marriage.
Absolutely.
You have to have that trust. So
yeah.
There's no so.
The other night, it's funny, I had given him my phone just to look at maybe a picture I was trying to show him, and he just like scrolling through, and we don't have anything to hide, so it really didn't matter. And if I do that on his phone, it's really not an issue.
It's no big deal.
How did you guys first meet? So I can tell we have some newbies.
We met right here.
Who are, you all follow Her Getting Hair, so y'all need to definitely follow my page. And on my YouTube channel, I have tons of videos where we talk about how we met, and we talk about our love story, our wedding, proposal, all of that is on my channel. But we actually met on Instagram.
Right here.
Oddly enough, we met on Instagram. Sweetheart here reached out to me through DM.
Is that the way it happened?
He slid. Well, how did it happen, babe?
I think you follow me.
You better stop lying. He slid in my DM.
And then you follow me.
I didn't follow him right away. So he slid in my DM and he was like sending me messages and stuff. And I know many women are very leery about responding to guys through DM. But you can kind of assess what a guy is really trying to get from you, and if they have any ulterior motives, just by the dialogue they use when they're their written communication skills and everything. And he was just so sweet through DM. And what he started off with wasn't like, hey, yo girl, you cute, can I get them digits? It was none of that. He was sending me things that I was posting on my page that were like motivational things, faith-based things. And we just started a dialogue from there. And then eventually I followed him. And
no, baby,
unfollowed.
Baby, that seems too long. It was
I'm not gonna give him the whole story.
It was a quick follow because you wanted to see my photo, and then after you followed, you unfollowed.
I did,
and then the dialogue continued.
Yeah, we would stay on this story forever, but y'all definitely need to go check out some of those videos.
So she stalled me out for like a month and a half, 2 months of just Instagram talking, and then around Christmas, she gave me her number. So that was the turning point. Yeah, and eventually he came to visit me, and we were just kind of seeking God about whether this was something that we should explore, and we decided to. This is just really the a summary, a short, condensed, it's so crazy version of our story. But I definitely have it on my channel, so y'all should absolutely check it out because it's really interesting. Check it out. No kids yet. No, we don't have any kids. And since that question has been presented, somebody else asked us a question about, it's weird because under one of my photos, they're like, baby bump, question mark. Really, y'all? Like, there's no baby bump. Ooh, shit. And, yeah, it's kind of shady. Like, don't do that. Don't ask people, are they pregnant? That probably was your six-pack, Bubba. Because Bubba has been doing some toning of her abs and stuff, so she's been working on a little bit. That was an old photo, but I didn't even think it looked like a bump in the photo, but whatever. So someone asked, how soon are we planning to have kids? That's one of the questions that we have. We are hoping within the next 2 years. We don't want to necessarily rush into... Absolutely. Oh, I thought, well, you said no. No, I'm with you. No, absolutely. We don't want to rush into having kids because for those who do know our story, you all are aware that we were long distance prior to getting married. Oh, wow. And we've only been married for about 9 months now. And so we just really want to enjoy each other. I feel like even though we are now married and living in the same household, we still have so much dating and just like life to live together before we start, bringing kids into the picture. We want kids, absolutely, but it's just we really want to enjoy each other first before that happens. You didn't read it, so they wouldn't know what we were saying. Oh, I'll finish it. So finally, any advice for people who are planning to marry but wish to have kids later down in the marriage? Do you have any advice? No, I think kind of what you talked about, just enjoying each other. Because I think the whole notion of bringing kids is just a different dynamic. It's a game changer. It's no longer just about you two. You have this third, or if you're lucky, you have twins. You have like these two kids to look after now. So,
but do you think you should have that conversation early? Because
absolutely, that's very important, because that'll be you know, a difficult situation. You know, someone's looking to get married and their wife decides she doesn't want to have kids, and maybe he wants to. So thankfully, that was something we both agreed upon. So,
yeah, we talked about all the really
before
so-called hard questions before we ever, you know, decided to go forward with the courtship. So you may want to bring that up early so they're not blindsided. When are we getting a duo video?
How old are you guys?
Together. What do you mean with the two of us? Somebody did ask, and I don't know if this is where you're going with this. Before we actually got married, we did a lot of, not a whole lot of videos, but whenever I would go visit Gerard or whenever he would come visit me, we would vlog, and you all would see the two of us together quite a bit. Not as often as we would like, but you all were able to see us. But now that we've got married, we really don't vlog as much. And that's just because we're trying to, you know, enjoy our marriage. And, you know, just there are so many different factors with Gerard having moved from Jersey to Houston, which is where we're currently located, that we're just figuring out, and we just don't have the time to constantly have the camera in our face. We do desire to do it, and we're trying to carve out time, and I've been telling Gerard that we need to get on a schedule so that we can
at least once a week.
No, okay, this day we're gonna for sure vlog or do a video, a sit down video like this. Like we used to do these often. We don't even do these as much anymore. So it is a desire of ours, but it's just, sometimes it just doesn't work out that way for us to do it. Okay, so another question, and this one is for Gerard. It says, what is the problem, I guess, in your opinion, when a man has a good wife or girl and even tells you you're good, but still goes on and entertains other females? Hope this question isn't bad. Just seems like you're the perfect guy. He's definitely not perfect by any means.
Ask this woman here. She'll tell you.
But any wife, I feel like, will tell you that their husband is not perfect. He's awesome, but he's not perfect.
I know.
Okay, so what would you?
I just think that he's not ready. You know, I think it's a nice way of probably saying that, you know, you're a great woman and there's potential, but you know, I still want to do my 1-2. You still want to entertain others, and yeah, that's what it is. He's not ready, and it's unfortunate because if you're this awesome woman, as he states, he's gonna lose you, and yeah, it'll be his loss, and I think he'll regret it in the end. So
absolutely,
just keep being awesome, and I think the right one will find you, and you guys will be awesome together.
Absolutely. In what way did God speak to you through the Holy Spirit that Gerard is the one for you? So, and I've gotten this question at the beginning of our relationship about, and I also saw it here as well, about how I knew that Gerard was for me, or how we individually knew that we were meant to be. For me, prior to getting married or even dating, because there was a 5-year span of time before I ever entertained anybody, because I was really just seeking God and just waiting for the right person. And so I felt like when I knew that the person was meant to be with me, that I would feel God's love, and I would just sense his love in his presence, and just know through that person just on a daily basis that God loved me, and also that I'd have peace. And Gerard and I, prior to actually meeting, we were listening to messages. One in particular that stands out is the 5 keys to identifying your soulmate. And many of those attributes that they talked about that an individual should have if they're meant for you, we were able to check those off. And we were also, even before we actually met, and we were just conversing through Instagram DM, we were like finishing each other's sentences, and just, it was just so much of a connection and bond that was just undeniable. So I just knew he was meant for me. And I think another thing that also tests that is when you go through adversity. Before we ever got married, some really interesting things were happening. Like the enemy was attacking us quite a bit. And just his like stick-to-itiveness, like he was not shaken by it, and we were just able to go through it together. And I love that those trying times happened before we actually got married, because it just showcased his loyalty and just how he will be in the midst of, you know, unforeseen circumstances. So that was another way of me knowing. How long did you court before you dated? Okay, so Gerard and I courted for, how long did we court before we dated, or how long did we court before we got married? I think that may be the question. So I'm going to answer that question. Maybe I'll answer it I'll answer it twofold. So we actually conversed through Instagram for about 2 months, I believe.
Yeah.
2 months. And then once we met in person, we decided that weekend, I felt compelled, and he also did, like we mutually agreed, because we had, prior to meeting, you know, been seeking God and everything, and we had peace about the relationship. And the determining factor was, once we met, if we still had that same peace and we still felt like, you know, this was something that was destined by God, then we would move forward with it. Because with courtship, it's really about deciding that you're going to not just date casually, but you're going to date with the purpose or intent to get married. And so we courted for a year. And then after a year, we literally got engaged on the same weekend that we met. A year later. And we got married 4 months after that. So interesting.
So we're coming up on 2 years. It actually was the month of February. 2
years that we've been, not necessarily been married, but 2 years that we've been together in general.
Since we first met. Yeah. Since my first trip from New Jersey to Houston.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so February 17th. Yeah,
so someone asked, and I'm going to have to shift the phone a little bit. How did your love language change after marriage? What are your Valentine's Day plans? So I'll let you start by answering, and then I'll share, because I just talked.
Did my love language change? I wouldn't say so. I think I know the answer for you.
What's your love language?
I probably would say probably quality time.
Well, yeah, like you don't know. We both did the test.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was quality time.
It was quality time. That's probably what I enjoy. I'm not really into gifts and those things. So, or even acts of service. You know, sometimes my wife gets a little frustrated because I like to do things myself, and she, yeah. So I would say quality time, and I still enjoy it. You know, so that really hasn't changed much at all. In terms of Valentine's Day, we're actually going to Dallas.
Yeah, we're doing a little staycation in Dallas, but that's for the weekend. But on Valentine's Day, I still don't know what his plans are. And we're gonna see if he surprises me like last year.
We're gonna do a little.
Let me give y'all a little insight about.
That's too long.
Let's get there. I'm gonna make it quick, y'all. All right, so before we actually, when Gerard first met me, it was February the 17th. It's the same week that Valentine's Day falls on. Right. So that week of Valentine's Day, on Valentine's Day rather, he sent me chocolates, and it was a bear, and I had flowers. This is before we actually met, y'all. Keep that in mind. Before we met, he did all this. And then I saw him that weekend. We hung out, whatever. Right. The next year, what did your girl get? I did go see him. I went to visit him.
I was flying here.
So that weekend, we go to visit. We see each other, so we hang out. In his mind, oh, that's considered to be our little Valentine's Day thing. But on Valentine's Day, what did I get? Nothing. So I'm hoping that that's not going to happen this year.
But we shall see. I flew here, baby.
Not on Valentine's Day.
That weekend.
The weekend. And
what do? We did all the things that Valentine's Day.
Babe, but what I'm saying is, before we met, so you have to be consistent, man. You cannot just, once you get the girl, just kind of chill and not do all the extra.
You know what? I proposed that weekend. Yeah. That's beyond anything. You know, she talks about, Valentine's. I proposed that Valentine's Day. But I wasn't here.
It doesn't matter.
And here's the thing, too. I think I sent my wife flowers. And my wife would tell you she doesn't like flowers. So, and she has echoed that to me before.
So you could have got me something else.
So I'll buy my wife some flowers, and my sweet wife won't even put them in water.
Because I don't.
They'll just sit there and be dead. So she's really not into flowers. So noted on my end. So
he got me nothing because I don't like flowers.
No, I flew here, baby.
You flew here that weekend.
I came. Me and Cupid. No. I proposed that weekend.
Moving right along.
Okay.
I'm just hoping that he has plans for
I proposed that weekend.
Day. That's awesome. I think that was great. But on Valentine's Day, I should have been showing some love. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
But okay.
I'm sure.
Since you guys waited to have sex, was it challenging? So for those who, that's a very good question. For those who are new and you haven't been following our story, we did wait to have sex. We also waited to kiss before we got married and before we started dating. Just the whole span of time before we got married, we weren't kissing and we didn't have sex. So I wouldn't say it was easy. by any stretch. It wasn't easy, but for us, it really wasn't extremely difficult either, because when you have two determined people together who are, you know, who set this goal and they're committed to it, it doesn't make it as difficult as it can be. But I wouldn't say that it was just super easy, but it was, you know, there was some difficulty, but not as much as there could have been if you had one person who desired to, you know, do it and was just like forcing and pressing the issue. It would be a challenge, but he made it easier for me, so much easier. Like, he has
You're referring to the weight, right?
Yeah, he has such self-control. It's like crazy. Yeah, so it wasn't as difficult as it could have been.
The weight wasn't bad at all. And I think what helps for us was that we weren't in the same state, so it wasn't like I was constantly in her space and we're dealing with the temptation to kind of, you know, jump on each other. But
yeah, that did help.
That helped.
But sometimes when you see somebody after a long span of time, and because you love each other more, I will say it did get difficult in those times. But when we felt we were in love early, but like when your relationship begins to grow and progress, it does become more challenging because it's like, oh my God, he looking good, and
And I think the closer we got, to with actually getting married or even the wedding, you know, as you have spoke to before, it became increasingly difficult, you know. Like I said, so.
Devon Franklin was celibate for 10 years. Yeah, so it can absolutely be done. And my husband, I think it speaks to just the strength of the amount of self-control that he had was significant. And also when you love somebody and your desire to be committed to them, to honor them is very strong, then just like they say, you'll do crazy things for love. For some, they think that's absolutely insane. But my husband, he wasn't in a state of being celibate for years or for months or anything like that. He was in a relationship and that was something that was happening. But because that was a decision that we made together, he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I literally presented this notion of maybe in the past, I desired to take kissing off the table. And that was actually a past desire. I just mentioned it to him and he was like, let's do it. And I was like, what? Because I liked kiss. But he was like, he was game for it. So I thought it was really cool. Okay, let's see. Somebody did ask how old we are. We are actually in our 30s. I am 33. And I sometimes forget how old I am. 23, bro. Yeah, I'm 33.
She's 23.
I hope I look 23, but I don't know. I'm 33 and he's 35. He actually just had a birthday in December.
I did.
And we have that vlog on our channel, so you all can check that out. Let's see. We had some good questions. Let me see. I'm just going to slide this over for a bit.
I get some spotlight now. I got the camera on me. See, that's what's on.
Oh my goodness. So somebody said, what are your thoughts on contraceptives? So for us, we're actually not using any currently. Well, we are. We are. I don't know why I said that, but like I'm saying in the okay, we're using contraceptives.
We are.
But
very much so.
We're not using birth control. That's what I meant. We're not using birth control because I've just heard many horrible stories about how the woman's mood shifts, and my mood changes are kind of interesting
just
already.
Normal.
So I know it would be crazy if I was on birth control and with all the mood swings and just like the adverse things that could happen to your body. And not everybody's system is the same, but I don't really want to explore that. And maybe we will in the future, but I think what we're doing now is okay. We're just using condoms, to be honest. And that's I don't know how to word this, but like when you're married, you kind of just, you know, want the skin on skin, but we've decided not to. I'm like really big.
You're going in, bro.
But we've decided, you know, we don't desire to have kids, and I don't want to use birth control. So there have to be some compromises. So
we're hoping to have a planned pregnancy, if you know what I mean. So when we're ready, we'll what you call that, Bubba? You say skin on skin.
Skin on skin. Yeah. So let's go on to the next. So this one is
it's fairly lengthy.
It is rather lengthy, but it was like a question, and then she gave us some encouragement, which was pretty cool. Okay. So she said it said that you never know someone until you live with them, and she had that exclamation mark.
So true.
I couldn't agree more with this statement. Since you are coming up on a year of marriage and living together, what do you dislike about each other, and what changes / improvements would you make, good or bad? And then she goes into sharing with us that she's been in a 7-year marriage, so she knows that it could be a struggle. So just the first leg of that.
We can speak all day on that. But that's a video.
It is a video.
That's a video.
But we're going to try to answer it as short and sweet as we can. You never know somebody until you live with them. That is the God honest truth.
True. That's so true.
Listen to me. Singles out here.
Go ahead.
I know y'all are ready to get married and you have been waiting your whole life for this moment. But the reality of it is, it's going to be amazing. There are going to be some great, blissful moments. You're going to have amazing times together because we do all of that. But things are different once you get married.
Absolutely.
The merging of two individuals who are from two different backgrounds, who grew up in two different households, culture-wise, everything. You're having to,
merge and become one.
Yeah, becoming one it can be a challenge, And that first year, I heard somebody say recently, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want that to be the case. We're 9 months in, and I'm praying that the rest of our 1 year is gonna, get better and better every day.
Every day.
But they stated that the first year, they were like, I heard the first year is the worst year. And y'all, I had never heard that before.
That's hope. That gives us hope.
It does.
If it's only going up.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, this is a growing pain. Absolutely. It's the merging process.
Yeah. So I'm just presenting the reality that the first year, some people say, that you're in the honeymoon phase. So it could be that you're in the honeymoon phase, but it also could be the worst experience that you have with your partner, because the first year, you're moving in together, you're trying to figure out, how we do this together, how do we do that, and dealing with this one stays in the bathroom all the time. So they said, what would you change about your partner? I would change that. This boy lives in the bathroom. So yeah, I would say absolutely. I definitely agree that living with somebody, you never know them until you actually live with them.
Absolutely.
I feel like I've learned so much about my husband now that we are living together and we're married and we're in the same household. I've learned so much more about him, and he has forced me to stay on my knees. I'm gonna just be honest, because he's awesome. But there are some things that he does drive me absolutely insane. And maybe I'm sure, there's some things that I do that he's like, oh my God, I cannot stand that. But
she's amazing.
It's awesome, guys. But there are gonna be some moments where you want to strangle them, honestly. Okay. And
I think just to kind of cap that off, like she stated, you're bringing two different people together and trying to be one. So definitely enjoy your singleness.
Absolutely.
I've never thought in a million years I would have to consult my wife, rather if I wanted to shave my goatee off or do something else. So
and y'all leave your comments on that, because these men are out here, and it's twofold. So if the woman, some men believe, if you want to do something different to your hair, you need to talk to me about it. But when they want to do something different to theirs, they just go about doing it. So when I did the big chop,
seriously?
Yeah, they just do it.
Women do.
I'm saying some women do it and some men do it. So for me, in my case, when I did the big chop, which was last year in March, I'm actually coming up on my 1-year anniversary. I talked to him about it, and we were not married yet. We had a discussion.
Did you talk to me about it?
I talked to him about it. I got his insight.
Did you tell me? Or did you ask me?
I asked him what he thought about it. I asked him his opinion.
Just my opinion.
And he asked me, babe, why are you deciding to cut your hair? It's a good length. It looks healthy. And I was telling him it may appear to be healthy, but it's damaged. And so I need to cut off the damaged ends so that it can grow out healthier. So we went through that whole spiel. But then probably like 2 or 3 months ago, my sweet husband decides he's gonna, I just want to try something new. And he cuts off all his facial hair. And I see him, and I did a double take. Like, what are you doing? Why you do that? You talk to me about that.
Oh,
so it was a. We had a moment.
I never knew I had to consult her, because, like I said, she changes her hair often, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I have very little input or say so, and I really don't mind. You know what I mean?
And I know you don't. So it's like
right. And I didn't know that you...
But sometimes that's what it is. It's a trial and error thing. You test it out. So he tested the waters. He knows that I don't play that. That's not how it is. Yeah. But, some women don't care about that type of stuff. But for me, I love his goatee. And, there's scripture that says that your body is not yours. This belongs to me. and my body belongs to him. So, you know,
Absolutely.
you have to talk to me before you just decide to go and do whatever you want to do with your little situation.
Right.
So, yeah.
I know now.
Yeah. So, what would we change about each other or improvements? I just think we're all a work in progress, and
Absolutely.
there are so many things, and I'll probably be talking forever.
That's a video. I'm telling you, we need to screenshot this, and that's a whole video.
Yeah.
That's a whole video. We appreciate the comment. I mean, the question though.
Yeah, and the encouragement was awesome too. We're gonna go on to the next thing because we will be there forever talking about that one. You did a lot of posting. Oh, we already addressed that. Who does most of the cooking? What have you learned about your spouse, and what have you learned about your spouse that you didn't know before? Does either of you sleep bad? How has living in Houston been for Gerard, and what are your pet peeves? Okay, this is good.
Come on.
Am I going to answer first, or are you going to answer
You gotta
first?
go.
So, we running out of time?
No, we're good.
Oh, so most of the cooking I do. Now I do like.
Seriously?
Babe, don't do it.
I make you breakfast often.
But I still do most of the cooking. I was gonna get there.
Okay.
So he does make breakfast in the morning. There are some times I'll make breakfast, but most often breakfast he does.
Yes.
But I do the majority of the cooking. But I also do enjoy going out to eat. You know, I told you all we were long distance, so we didn't get a whole lot of date nights and stuff. And then there are just some nights where I'm like, I don't feel like it. Mm-hmm. If we could have a chef, a live-in chef, or just like somebody who came and cooked for us, I would be totally down for that, because I'm not somebody, although I will cook, I don't like to cook. So
it's not your thing.
It's not my thing. So do either of you sleep bad? No, I don't. We don't really sleep bad. I don't think, you know, I'm
She's
all
a
over the
napper.
place.
She's a nap queen.
No, I think they're saying like sleep bad. Like, am I all over the bed? Does one of us snore? I guess that's how I perceive the question.
Every now and then she'll record a video and allege that I was snoring, but I'm just a heavy breather. I don't really call it snoring.
Yeah, it's not every night. It's
deep
just
breathing.
I think because I keep it cold in the house, well, in our apartment, that sometimes his sinuses can kind of start to act up because I have it cold and he likes it hot. So I think that's when he starts to snore, but you know, it's really no big deal.
As for living in Houston, it's been great so far. Everyone's been cool. Met a ton of cool people so far. So and I enjoy the weather. You know what I mean? I don't mind the hot weather, unlike a lot of people who, you know, talk about the humidity and it being so hot here. You know, I kind of enjoy the outdoors. So and right now I'm loving it. You know, it's 60, 70 degrees, you know, so that beats, you know, the 20s or 30s in New Jersey. So
yeah,
life in Houston is great. I
think it's just, you know, a matter of the job market here. It's really interesting. Like, you know, that whole situation has been quite interesting, just figuring that out. Mm-hmm. And I actually, before we got married, I had gone through a season of looking for a job because I quit my job as a teacher. Mm-hmm. And so finding a job myself was quite interesting. So, you know, we're just still kind of exploring that thing. So, you know, that area of Houston and just finding something, because you can have a master's degree. My husband literally has a master's degree, and it's just been really interesting trying to find something great. So that's just something. But let's see. What are your pet peeves? So my husband, he's really in, and he loves working out. So to help him, so he's not eating a great deal, he chews gum. And he will come to bed with gum. And y'all tell me if this is like,
that's normal.
That's one of our things that's been like a consistent discussion. And he finally just got it, where it's like, you better not bring yourself to bed with gum. That's another thing. Mouth.
We just talked about that. I didn't know once I got married I couldn't chew gum.
In the bed, y'all. It's 9 o'clock at night. Why are you chewing gum? Hold on, babe. I need another bed. You pass me a battery.
I did that. That's something that that she didn't warn me about. That once you get married, you can't chew gum. I'm telling my wife that's practically normal. You know, my wife enjoys gummy bears and different other, you know, sweets and things of that nature. I prefer gum, which is a healthier option, and it kind of suffices, you know, the desire to eat instead of snacking. I just chew gum, which is healthy, you know. Tried it, so it's good. Everything's good, you know.
Sorry, y'all.
But yeah, you know, me chewing gum, and I think I'm a good chewer.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
She alleges that
somebody said
that I smack.
He does, and it's like not even that he's like smacking, but like the sound of him chewing. I don't know. It's like I want to like stick my nails in his throat. When I tell y'all, it just drives me crazy. I don't understand. I get the fact that it helps him so he's not eating, but at 9 o'clock at night, why are you chewing gum? And my thing is like, why are you chewing gum in the house?
That's
like,
after dinner.
It's so after dinner, or he'll come to bed. Y'all, sometimes he'll come to bed. It's like 11 o'clock at night, and my sweet husband has gum in his mouth, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Did you hear what she said? Who chews gum in the house?
I think that's crazy. Like, why you got gum? Like, go brush your teeth. If like you feel like your teeth are dirty, like it's weird to me. It's so weird. Like it's absolutely insane. So that's one of my pet peeves. And he's always in the bathroom. Like he's always he's so regular. It is crazy.
I'm healthy. Thank God. You know.
It's not like he's in the bathroom looking in the mirror, but it's like he's always in the bathroom. And it's like, we only have a 1-bedroom apartment. So it's like, okay, Jesus, like I need you to enlarge our territory so we can have our separate bathrooms, because
it ain't even that. And you know, not only do I spend a good amount of time in there, but I think because you have the frequent, you know, have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I do go to the bathroom. Yeah, my bladder's a little interesting, but apart from that, when I'm ready to do my makeup, or if I need to get ready and he's in the bathroom, it drives me crazy. Yeah. So yeah, that's a pet peeve. What are some things that you realized weren't true about marriage? This is a very, very good question. Go ahead, based on movies, songs, and the media. So I just had this really
talk to him, Bubba.
I just had this really, I guess, I wouldn't say false view of what marriage was going to look like, because, you know, of course I realized, you know, every day is not going to be great. There are going to be some moments where, you know, you have arguments, you have, you know, there are peaks and valleys. But I just thought, because, you know, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love love. So I was watching romantic movies like all the time, and I thought, like, you know, there are the moments where you come through the door and your partner just like, you know, just embraces you, and they just like slob you down and just like, you know, it's just
all that.
Because the movies will set you up to fail. They will set you up, y'all. Don't believe the hype. They make it seem like, you know, they get in the shower together, and it's just like, you know, you cuddle in the bed. You hear them? We did it one time. And that's it. We've never done that again. So like, that's something I realized. Like, and even with the cuddling thing, in the past I used to think, my goodness, I want my husband to like cuddle me. I would literally say, you know, around the fall season, like, man, this is cuddle weather. I want somebody to cuddle me. Like when Gerard tries to cuddle me, he's so like, his body temperature is so warm that I'm like, okay, babe, like, you know, cuddle me for like a second and then go about your business. And it's just like, I don't desire that. He doesn't really care for it either. So like, you know, it's just, things change.
Absolutely.
Babe, what are your pet peeves? Somebody just asked.
My pet peeves. What, Bubba? Nothing really bothers me, but she has her little quirks.
Like what? What quirks do I have?
You need your chapstick.
Oh man, I'm bad.
She sleeps with it, wakes up with it.
I have it in my hand, y'all.
But it doesn't bother me. What does that do to me? It does nothing. Let me see some other little quirky things that you do. I can't think. I'm sorry. I actually didn't read the questions. So
but even if you didn't,
I can on the spot. I'm just trying to think, like little quirky stuff that you do. You know, the bathroom thing. It really doesn't bother me, but it does tend to break my sleep. Because, you know, Bubba's constantly getting in and out of the bed throughout the night to use the bathroom. So that could be a little interesting. But it doesn't bother me.
Okay, you want to go to the next question?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'll give that some thought and get back to you guys.
Okay, how do you resolve conflicts? That was like one of the questions that we had several times. Mm-hmm. How do you resolve conflicts in your relationship? How do you work through issues and disagreements? And somebody asked along with that, if we follow the rule, not going to bed angry or upset. So I try to make it my business, and maybe we're kind of in a space where we're kind of developing and growing in that area of resolving conflicts. And I feel like we really had a breakthrough the other night. But yeah.
Right.
So generally, we try our best to talk about whatever's bothering us, and I think that's a good way. You know, communication and just making sure that you're having consistent communication about whatever's going on. In the beginning, we talked about doing temperature checks. You know, just kind of taking preventative measures so that, you know, we're not having the build-up of different issues, that we're kind of, you know, attacking them head on, and you know, we're not sweeping them under the rug, and then it becomes this pile up of all these different things that just like come out, and they come out really horribly. But yeah, we try our best to talk about different things, and we pray about, you know, situations, and sometimes it might be individually that we're praying. But I'm really gonna be honest and transparent. There are some moments, you know, where we do go to bed, and he's probably not angry because he sleeps good. Like, it doesn't matter how much. You know, I could have like, it could have been like a really intense conversation where we were disagreeing, and maybe, you know, it got a little heated, because those moments will happen. But he will sleep like a little baby, and I'll be over there just wrestling. But there are moments where we have gone to bed upset, and you know, he's probably just like good, or just like, okay babe, like, you know, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move beyond it.
But I'm just like, no, like we have to come to a resolve before we can move on. I don't want to just, okay, I'm done talking about it and let's just move on to the next thing. But we generally, when we wake up in the morning, Gerard has this thing where he wakes up like nothing happened. And that can be a good thing, because you get the opportunity to start fresh, you know, if you don't, you know, allow the previous day to carry over. But in my mind, my thing is, don't wake up like nothing just happened. Let's figure out, okay, we had our time to process, you know, because I need time to process. It's just how I'm wired. We've had our time to process, so now let's come back to it and let's talk about it, and let's figure out how we can address the situation and fix it so that we can be better. Yeah. But
my thought on it is that she's not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere, so I usually don't let those things really stick. I kind of just let them go, and I'll apologize, and you know, I'm hoping that would be enough, but sometimes it's not enough. So, you know,
because I think sometimes he apologizes just out of obligation, or just because he feels like, oh, this is the natural thing to do, I should probably just shoot an apology out here.
So so now an apology is not enough, because maybe it's not sincere. So I was, you know, and she'll tell me if I mean what I say, and it's like, I said it. If I said it,
he'll just say, okay, I'm sorry. And it's like, you can tell in the person's tone if they mean it or
listen, not. I'm a very sincere guy. I'm being sincere right now.
No, you're not. Okay, so this is a really interesting question, but because we're so transparent, I'll answer it. So, we do have a video on our channel. I mentioned earlier that Gerard and I did not have sex before we got married. We did not kiss before we got married. And so, as a virgin, when we first you know, encounter, we have a video all about it, you know, going into detail. Not everything, but you know, I talk with my hands, sorry. So yeah, so I mentioned in that video that it was you know, painful. It was kind of, you know, interesting the first time, but it has gotten better. So yeah, and I just think that comes with communication, and just like bonding more with your husband, and just figuring out your own body and things like that can help with that area.
And I think I would guess that would be normal though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
For your first time, right?
I've actually heard stories of individuals who are virgins, who were virgins coming into marriage, or even maybe they married a virgin, that they had challenges in that area for over 6 months. So it takes time before, you know, you figure each other out, and you figure out what
we're still doing it.
We are still in the exploration stage or phase, but it has gotten better. What did you all do to maintain your abstinence/celibacy before marriage? We do have a video all about that. And one thing we did was try to create boundaries. We talked about that in many of our videos, that we really tried to create a great deal of boundaries. And the long distance thing, really, as Gerard stated earlier, it helped us a great deal, because, you know, we weren't around each other as often. So we didn't have that consistent temptation. So that did help.
And then we also did things to kind of minimize them as well. I think it wasn't until, you know, I would come and visit my wife, but it wasn't until we actually got married that I even like sit on the bed or something with my wife, and that was a little interesting moment. The first time we like chilled on the bed and watch a movie or something like that. So yeah, we tried to put like little stop gaps or use preventative measures to kind of eliminate the temptations.
What's the most memorable experience, not related to your wedding or honeymoon, that you've had in 2018?
Oh, the most memorable. Well, the honeymoon was amazing, and I know she said that. The wedding was great. 2018. Well, she said, well, the proposal happened in 2018. Believe it or not, we got married in like within
4 months.
Yeah, it was very, very quick. So, so the proposal, I'll never forget that. That was an interesting time period.
You thought that was great? Like the proposal and everything, that was your favorite moment?
No. Trying to, I guess she said memorable. So,
memorable, okay.
So that's kind of, I'll never forget that moment. That was...
I'll never forget it either.
The beginning of all of this. Yeah. Another memorable moments. I mean, we've had awesome holidays. 2018, I guess this past Christmas was amazing. Seeing family.
My YouTube channel name is Msnaturallymary. It's actually pinned. So all of my social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Msnaturallymary. It's right there.
And then also we went to Ocean City Beach, Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Was that last year?
For her birthday.
Yeah, for her birthday. We went to... Was that last year?
That wasn't last year.
Or was that 2017?
Yeah, 2017. I think for me, the most memorable moment right now that's standing out is the other night. Like, because communication has been quite interesting. I feel like when we were dating...
The other night?
Yeah, the other night. I feel like that's the most...
we got 2 minutes. This thing's crazy fast.
Oh, yeah. So, when we initially started dating, we talked all the time. We would stay up to 2 in the morning talking. But now that we're married, I feel like, I'm constantly like pulling to get time and, to... The
thing is, I guess that now that we're married and we see each other every day, there's kind of less to talk about. When we're distant, I think there's, she's not seeing me. So it's so much to tell her, and it's, a lot of the things that we would talk about, she's actually present for, and we do those things together. So I can't necessarily tell her about, what I had for lunch or ate for dinner or what I did. She was actually with me. We went to the gym together, or we did these things together. But you're right.
But I still think we should carve out time
to communicate our time, and we're still trying to figure it out. As she kind of alluded to, I'm still adjusting to the move and figuring things out career-wise and different things. So our schedule is kind of irregular, and I think once we get on a steady schedule, we'll be able to create more time for us. But we got our time coming right now, though. In the minute we get off.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're gonna hang out. So we only have 30 seconds, and I hope that we address everyone's question. If we did not answer your question, we tried our best to answer those that we could within this space of an hour. But all of my videos on my channel, I actually have a playlist that says Mary and Gerard. Any question you may have, we most likely answered it in one of those videos. So y'all be sure to check it out. When did you say you love each other? I'm just going to wrap because we had like 2 more. Okay. When did you say you love each other? Do you remember, bro? I don't even remember.
You mean to tell me you forgot?
Did you say it the first weekend?
You mean to tell me you forgot?
Okay, so sorry. I actually forgot.
It wasn't memorable.
It was memorable. It was so memorable. Marriage is,
it's a journey.
It's a journey. Don't think that the first year, don't think that the first week, the first month is just gonna be bliss the whole time.
I never heard that notion that it's like the worst time.
I heard somebody say that.
In theory, that would make sense if we're gonna grow and grow, and our love each and every day is gonna grow. So I guess although this time, is interesting and whatever, but we believe for better. So I guess in hindsight, our old highs would be our new lows. If that makes sense to you, like these moments, would be like compared to what we'll be. So
But I think it boils down to making sure that you're with the right person, the person that you really, truly, when they say for better or for worse, that worse, we really don't we'll lean into that worst. But, you know, you start to see the worst parts of the person and you're like, oh, I don't really care for this. And, you know, there have been some things with Gerard, it's like, I don't like this. Like, why, Jesus? But knowing that I can still, like, even seeing his worst, and I'm like, I still love him to pieces and I wouldn't want to do life without him, you know, that's going to keep you going. And just your faith in God in general is what's going to keep you going. So just make sure you keep God at the center, and also that you are not just selecting somebody based on trivial attributes or, you know, physical attributes or something that's vain. Make sure that it's somebody that you truly feel like God has led you to. And somebody asked one of the questions, was there ever a time that you questioned whether he was really the one? That notion may come to your mind, but I feel like the Spirit of God that's in you will also counteract that, you know, because that question has come to my mind, you know, in instances where I was like, you know, I expected this to happen and, you know, this to be, you know, how things are on a consistent basis. But then, you know, you hit a rough spot and then you maybe you didn't hit it once, but then that rough spot comes again and again. And it's like, gosh, like, did I? You know, that might come to your mind, but I've always come back to, no, this is the person I know I'm meant to be with. Like, I cannot see my life apart from being with Gerard. Like, he's the one. And I don't want to question, I don't want to, like, you know, get to a space where just because things are rocky or, you know, things are not going as planned, or maybe he's not acting the way that I think he should in response to something that, you know, I begin to question whether we're meant to be. No, we're meant to be. And I try to just cancel out those thoughts immediately. And does it happen every time? No. But I don't allow them to linger too long. No. But yeah, that has happened.
Any questions for me? Anything?
Yeah.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
So you don't get fined. Is marriage what you hope for? That's a good question. So marriage is partially, I mean, y'all gotta understand, I kind of talked about this earlier, but I was that person, to be honest, and I'm sure many of you are like that, where you're like, that's not gonna be my case. I'm gonna marry somebody who makes 6 figures. I'm gonna marry somebody who goes to gym all the time. I'm gonna marry somebody who take care of me. He's not gonna talk sideways to me. He's gonna, you know, you just have this preconceived notion of just like, that's not gonna be my situation. And honestly, sometimes God has a way of showing you, oh, that can be your situation, but I can sustain you in that situation. So I was one of those people, you know, just looking at marriages around me, and I would see different circumstances where, you know, things were happening in the marriage, and in my mind I'm like, that's not gonna be me. That was just my thing. That's not gonna happen to me. And, you know, we've been confronted with some things, and it's like, man, I never thought this would be my situation, you know. But God has shown me that he's still God in the midst of the situation, and that we can overcome it together as long as we're both committed to making sure that we flourish, and that we don't, this relationship doesn't die. Our fire and our zeal towards what we believe God put together doesn't die. That, you know, it'll be fine. But there are some moments where it's like, I just didn't think it was gonna be like this. But we get past those moments.
I didn't see
somebody asked if we have a mentor or a married couple that we lean on for insight. I talked about wanting to find a church so that we could have couples around us. Absolutely. But we've definitely been seeking God about a mentor and also a church home and things like that, because we need that. And somebody asked about an older couple, and I'm like, that I would love to have an older couple that comes alongside us and, you know, is able to, you know, not often because it's not healthy. And he was telling me that the other day, talking to my mom. But my mom is the type, somebody asked if we have somebody that we individually talk to outside of the marriage and if that's healthy. So do you want to answer it first, or you want?
Yeah, we kind of talked about this the other day. I really don't pull too many people in, like, to our marriage per se, meaning like I have a guy or somebody that I go to and stuff. But we have people that, you know, often check in on us, old friends or friends through church that we've met along the way.
Yeah.
And, different people often ask me how's things going, but
it's like, it's really like on the surface. It's not anything deeper.
Not like you have with your sister and your mom. And I guess that's just due to the nature of her being a twin, and then, you know, just the closeness they share with their mom. You know, they often, you know, tell each other everything.
I thought you were about to say something else.
And when I say everything, they tell them everything, and it could be kind of
I just started to open up with my mom
about all that.
And she's so fun to have the conversation with about like everything.
You know, you couldn't do that. Forever. You like making up.
We could talk about sex or, you know, just like all the.
The
stuff that's considered to be nasty.
Right.
But, I talked to my mom about it.
But it's definitely something that we desire, you know, because like I said, they're wise. They've been through this before, and they could show us how to navigate some of the, you know, pitfalls or things that we may come up against, you know, being a newly married couple. But
I've told Gerard he absolutely needs a male figure of some sort that can help him navigate through this process, because he didn't have parents that were married, and he also didn't have.
I had parents though.
Of course, I said parents that were married.
I love you, Mom.
Yeah,
I love you, Dad.
They're awesome. He just didn't have that, like a model of what marriage looks like prior to being married to me. That's what I'm saying. Like he didn't have that.
I didn't grow up in a household like that.
Where they were married, and so I feel like, you know, some of our instances, and it's just like marriages in general. You know, if you didn't have that growing up, and that's not necessarily gonna for sure affect you, but it does. Like there's some deep-rooted things that could happen, and, you know, that cause certain areas of your life to look a certain way because that wasn't there. And it could even be that you had parents that were married and just certain things just
went the other way.
Yeah. So we just need that. And I feel like for him as a man, because his role as the leader, there's so much weight to that. And I just want to make sure, and it's just healthy in general for a man to have another individual who's gone through what he may be going through currently, to be able to provide insight and help and assurance through the process. So we've just been prayerful about that. And I think that once we find the church that we call home together, that, you know, God will begin to allow that to happen. So y'all, if you're in the city of Houston, y'all leave some churches down in the comment section, because we've been exploring a lot. Well, I do want to say, you know, with the job situation, if y'all have any insight on or leads or jobs that are great in Houston, please leave those down in the comment section. And I'm looking at y'all now because our live is now over. But if you have any insight on those, if you work at a job where maybe there's an opening, let us know, because that has been the most frustrating and interesting thing. You know, Gerard took the leap of faith to move here, which was phenomenal, and we felt like we could handle it. You know, we're in it together, and God has been sustaining us. He's been so awesome through the process. You know, he's been providing, but we just want stability in that area. So that has been quite interesting. So if you know of anything, we're also in the process of looking for a new church. So if you all know any churches in Houston that are great, leave those as well. Just kind of help us out.
Right.
So, because we feel like in the area of marriage, just for a young couple like us, I feel like when you get married, and this is for those who are married currently or those who maybe are desiring to be married, you need others around you that you that can be a sounding board, and just like, you know, you can
glean wisdom.
Absolutely. And then like in areas where maybe you're struggling, or maybe you're needing insight or assurance that it's going to be okay, other couples that are surrounding you that are able to give you that hope is so important. So I feel like for us, having a church home, because we wouldn't want to just honestly take advice from just anybody.
Absolutely.
You know, we want our beliefs and everything to align. So we're really looking for a great church home. We kind of discussed maybe exploring some churches that we visited in the past, but if y'all have insight, let us know. Let's see. I don't know. I think we touched on everything else.
For the most part.
Somebody asked about advice for planning a wedding, because we did ours in a short span of time. we do have a video on that, so be sure to check that out. I'll have some of our videos in the cards that are related to some of the questions that we got that can kind of elaborate on some things, because we tried to answer them as quickly as we possibly could because we don't have a whole lot of time to do this. We were doing an Instagram live on the Hergy the Hair page, so if you all saw us looking down, I should probably just do the, yeah, so if you all saw us looking down, once again, it's because of that. Right. But we love y'all, and we hope that you all enjoy these type videos.
We have to do it more. We
do need to do it more, and it's something that we desire. But, you know, we're in a phase where, and I'm sure you all understand, you know, we're in a phase where we're growing, and we don't want to constantly feel like we're pouring things out to others when we're still in the learning phase ourselves. Yeah. So I want to make sure, you know, when I was in my single phase, I would be open and transparent about different things I was learning, and, you know, different things that I was kind of experiencing and how I was feeling during the process. But when you're married, I'm not going to come on here and tell y'all, you know what, we are dealing with this, or we, you know, I'm not going to do that. So while we're in the phase of just growing and developing, because the first year it can be very challenging, but the love and your foundation, if it's built on the right thing, if it's built on a strong foundation, which is God, you know, it can sustain anything, and, you know, you can weather any storm. Absolutely. So we're just in that phase of just growing, and so we've been asked to do like conferences and like podcasts and all these different things, and right now we're in a phase where we're like, you know, we just want to learn what God wants us to learn. Absolutely. And we want to be in a space where we can just grow together. So you may see us do vlogs and stuff every now and again, or you may see us do these videos where we answer some questions, but, you know, we're just not in a space where we're ready to just like talk about everything. And I think that's healthy. It's like, you know, having a vision or a dream to do something, and you just don't decide to just tell everybody too quick. So it's just, we want to just grow through the process. And I believe as we're growing through, you know, the fights, the obstacles, not fights like literal fights, but, you know, you're presented with
the struggles,
different struggles and challenges. And as we grow through those things, we'll have a manual. We'll have things that we learn from these situations that we can provide to you guys. And we're going to be excited when we can do all that. But we just want to grow through what we're, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as she said, that's a desire of hers to, you know, to share and be used and through this platform, and to be able to, you know, hey guys, you know, this is something to be aware of, you know, watch out for this, you know, things of that nature. So we want to be used in that way. I think one of the things that Bubba shared with me a long time ago when she was, you know, doing this YouTube stuff and we started dating, she felt like, you know, that's part of her serving, you know. Being an inspiration to others, and, you know, through her journey, whether it be was in her singleness and the whole waiting thing, and now that she is married, not that she's like abandoned you guys or everything, but
I still have to guard the relationship, and, you know, things that we are growing through, you know, and I'm saying that because that's what it is. I just want to make sure that we aren't presenting those things too soon, you know, and after we've now won the battle, and after we've now, you know, gone through it, and we're past our 1 year, because this is just like, we're students right now.
Very much so.
You know, I'm not gonna, I think it's, you know, there's a quote that says, and maybe it's just not a quote, but it said that you can't truly be a leader until you first learn to follow. And so right now we're just in a stage where we're just trying to follow and just like do what God wants us to do, and learn as much as possible, you know, and after that's happened, maybe next year we'll like have so many different videos on different stuff, but like we're just learning, and I just think it's healthy for us to just be able to learn. And I thank you all, because you all have been very like, y'all will say, you know, I miss the MJ videos and stuff, and we're so glad that y'all. Yeah, they say MJ.
What?
That's her name. That's what they call us.
What?
Somebody said,
I never heard
I saw it.
That's my first time hearing it.
They're like, we missed the MJ videos, and I'm like, I know, guys. And I would literally try to not force him to do videos, but I try to bring him in as much as possible. But then as I started to notice that he's like, you know, babe, I'm just like, you know, he kind of, not that he resists them, but I don't want him to think that he has to spend his time where he has other things to do, you know, over in my world all the time, you know, and you know, times that we just have to plan it out, and we're gonna do that.
We will. More videos coming.
Yeah.
Soon. We'll get it together. We're still just figuring it out. But
yeah. But we hope that you all enjoyed this video. We hope that you all are having an awesome Valentine's Day. And that even if someone did not take you out, that you go out on your own. Like, treat yourself. Go have a cake. Go get your own chocolates, girl. Get your own self flowers. Just enjoy your day as a single woman enjoying this beautiful day. Like, don't just sit back and, you know, feel bad because you don't have a partner. God has somebody for you. That person is coming. It's going to be awesome. We love you guys, and we hope that you all enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you all in our next video.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, y'all.